Journey to Older Tales. The North Wind and the Sun.
High in the sky, the north wind and the sun argued about who was stronger. The wind howled.
I am the strongest in the world.
He roared. The sun smiled warmly.
Strength isn't everything. True power comes from warmth.
The wind grumbled.
You don't understand how powerful I am. I can shake trees and stir up enormous waves in the sea.
But the sun calmly replied.
Real strength doesn't force others. It inspires them to change naturally.
The two stared at each other, locked in an endless argument. The wind and the sun decided to settle their argument once and for all. Just then, they spotted a traveler walking below. He was bundled up tightly in a thick coat. The sun said,
Let's make a bet. Whoever makes that traveler remove his coat first will be the stronger one.
The wind smirked.
That'll be easy. I'll blow so hard that his coat will fly right off.
The sun just smiled quietly. The challenge was about to begin. The north wind and the sun confirmed the terms of their bet as they watched the traveler below.
I will go first.
The wind declared confidently.
Once my powerful gusts hit, that traveler won't be able to hold on to his coat. I'll blow it right off in an instant.
The sun simply smiled and nodded.
All right, but I will take a different approach. Instead of force, I will use warmth. Let's see who truly has the greater power.
The wind wasted no time and began preparing, while the sun calmly gathered his gentle light. High above, the two watched the traveler, ready to put their powers to the test. The wind took a deep breath, filling his lungs with air. Then, with all his might, he blew a fierce gust toward the traveler. Tree branches shook, and dust swirled around, whipping against the traveler's coat.
Now you'll have no choice but to take it off.
The wind roared, but instead of removing his coat, the traveler gasped in surprise and grabbed it even tighter.
Oh no, the wind is too strong. I have to hold on.
The wind blew even harder. The traveler's hat nearly flew off, and leaves danced wildly in the air. Yet, instead of letting go, the traveler hunched over, wrapping his coat around himself even more. No matter how hard the wind blew, the traveler refused to take off his coat. The wind became even more frustrated.
This can't be. I'll blow even harder.
He took a deep breath and unleashed an even fiercer gust. Trees bent under the force, and small pebbles lifted off the ground. Dust and sand whirled into the air, swirling around the traveler and stinging his face.
Now he'll have no choice but to remove his coat.
The wind thought smugly, but instead of taking it off, the traveler hunched over, pulling his coat even tighter.
Since the wind is this strong, I have to hold on even tighter.
He muttered, gripping it firmly. No matter how hard the wind blew, the traveler refused to let go of his coat.
I'll show you a real storm.
The wind gathered all his strength and blew the mightiest gust of all. The wind was so powerful that a small tree was uprooted. But even then, the traveler held onto his coat tightly. Finally, the wind was exhausted.
No matter how hard I blow, it's useless.
When the wind gave up, The sun smiled softly and began to shine warmly. As the gentle sunlight reached the traveler, he paused and looked up at the sky.
Wow, the sunlight is warm. But why did the weather change so suddenly?
The traveler straightened up, enjoying the warmth, and began to unbutton his coat. The sun shone even brighter, and the air became warmer. The traveler realized he didn't need to hold onto his coat anymore and relaxed his posture.
This coat feels a bit too heavy now.
With a peaceful smile, he continued walking under the warm sunlight. As the warmth spread, the traveler finally removed his coat.
I don't need this coat anymore. Just a while ago, I thought I'd freeze without it, but now it's too warm.
He smiled and draped it over his arm. Without any force, the sun had made the traveler take off his coat willingly. The sun simply kept shining, his warm glow spreading gently across the land. After removing his coat, the traveler walked lightly under the sun.
This sunlight feels amazing.
He said, smiling and taking in the scenery around him. The sun's warmth not only comforted his body but also brought peace to his heart. From above, the wind quietly watched everything unfold.
I can't believe it. No matter how hard I blew, I couldn't succeed, but the sun changed the traveler with warmth.
The wind nodded, admitting defeat.
Strength alone isn't always the answer. The harder I pushed, the more the traveler resisted.
With a sigh, he gazed at the sky.
True power lies in approaching gently, not forcing change.
The sun continued to shine warmly and said,
True strength isn't about forcing someone to act. It's about guiding them to change naturally.
The wind nodded at these words.
You're right. Now I understand the power of warmth.
The traveler walked on with lighter steps. He smiled as he looked around, enjoying the scenery. The sun quietly lit up the earth, wrapping the world in its gentle warmth. From a distance, the wind watched in silence, deep in thought. This story teaches an important lesson. Instead of forcing change through strength, kindness and warmth can have a far greater impact. No matter how fiercely the wind blew, he couldn't make the traveler remove his coat. But the sun, by simply shining gently, made the traveler willingly take it off. True strength isn't about pushing others, it's about helping them change naturally. As the traveler walked on, enjoying the warmth of the sun continued to shine, spreading light and comfort across the world. From above, the wind watched silently, having learned something new about the true nature of strength.
I hope today's fairy tale brought you joy and happiness. I'll return with an even more special story next time. Thank you for watching.